How's it going, laser bursters? I'm Bobby Sixkilla. Welcome back to Quantum Suicide. It is time for us to press the button, or not press the button. Hopefully we'll have a chance to do both in this episode. For now, we're going to press the button and see what happens. It's no time like the present. I look over at Shizuka, who was asleep sideways in my bed, and smiled. This could be what saves her, saves me, saves everyone. Without hesitation, I press the pocket watch buttons. I woke up feeling quite nauseous and blinded by bright light. My skin was basked in warm light. A laser? Was I being attacked?
Hey, he's awake!
Huh?
Can't see, right? It's the sunlight, I think.
Hurry up,
What?
Shizuka! Get back over here. Beatrix is ready to serve.
Whose head is that?
He'll be fine. Get your butt over here.
How is I playing volleyball when she hasn't got a physical body? I still couldn't quite discern what was happening. It took about a minute for my eyes to make out anything but vague silhouettes. I felt for the watch. It was still in my pocket, but something was now seriously wrong. All the lights were now violently flashing, both red and green. What could it mean? I looked up to see what the crew was doing, and what I saw in front of me was unexpected. Captain?
I am a bit busy.
Are you guys playing beach volleyball?
What does it look like, sailor?
But how? Where are we?
That is unknown.
Wait, how is I outside the ship? Where is the ship? I looked around and couldn't see the ship, or a shuttle, or a building. How is I touching the ball? Are you using a head for the ball? What is happening here?
Last log entry, Sunday 4:11 a.m. Captain Kimiko Yukimori.
Morse Winsit Omnia.
Wait, is that passcode? I'm gonna, I'm writing it. I drop everything. I'm gonna write it down. I don't know. We didn't avoid the black hole.
That is unknown.
Are we all dead?
That is unknown.
Who cares, sailor? Let's just enjoy ourselves while it lasts.
Wait, aren't you dead, Beatrix? And this is just what I did forever. What? Okay, I'll reload and I'll bring you back when there's different choices in that same timeline. I guess we could wake her up. This is a different choice. I looked around to confirm that we were in my quarters and that I hadn't ended up in her bed by accident. Now, this is definitely my room. I looked down at Shizuka, who was sleeping soundly. Looked like a very dribbly rock. I shook her. Shizuka, wake up.
I don't want to study.
I'm not your mother, Shizuka.
Whatever, Dad. Shh, sleeping.
Shizuka waved me away and burrowed deeper into my bed like a cuddly tick. I guess I'll just go back to sleep too? I sat flummoxed for a moment before I begrudgingly withdrew my objections and settled back into bed. I leapt out of bed. I had no interest in being tardy on Dai's watch. What? That was random. Shizuka, get out of bed. We have to go. Alright, I'm going to skip ahead until the next choice. Well, I don't really need to tell you that, because I can skip so fast that it doesn't matter. Skip. Should we try, do you like Shizuka?
That is a very personal question.
I didn't mean to overstep.
No, it's fine. I like everyone on the ship. Shizuka included. Each person on the ship is different and needs to be treated as such, but at the end of the day, each and every one of the crew is family.
That's nice. That's such a sweet way to look at it.
We have too much yet to overcome to get hung up on unusual personality traits.
Doesn't seem that unusual. The captain's lip twitched like she was having an intense internal struggle.
Such as the avoidance of responsibility. To the problem at hand. Unfortunately, Shizuka has already excused herself, so perhaps you will give suitable counsel in regards to my concerns.
I'll do my best, Captain. Lay it on me. Alright, we'll skip ahead to the next choice, because we know the rest of this one. Let's see. We won't go play games with Shizuka. We'll continue working. I could feel a breakthrough soon. I'd love to play video games, but there are more important things to deal with. I continued poring over my parents' research. Hours passed in a heartbeat. Suddenly, Shizuka burst into the lab unannounced. Shizuka? What? Wait, what? Really? You're gonna give me the silent treatment? Shizuka blew an enormous raspberry and stormed out of the lab. Looks like I'm in trouble. There was no point worrying about Shizuka now. I could finish up here and then head back to bed before the new game tomorrow. I looked at the pocket watch sitting impenetrable in my palm. What was I missing here? Tell me your secrets, damn it! I let out a protracted sigh and tossed the watch unceremoniously into my pocket. After packing all the research back up, I retired to my quarters, deeply unsatisfied. As I entered the pitch-black quarters, I fumbled for the pocket watch, taking it out and placing it in its usual place on the bedside table, before shedding my clothes and clambering into bed. I tried to snuggle into my blankets, but it was... Okay, we'll skip ahead again. Don't press any of the buttons. Let's see what happens next. I couldn't just press it. I still had no idea what could even happen. Should I press it here in my quarters? Was there a better room suited for dimensional travel? Do I need to run up? Was I wearing the right clothes? Should I shut my eyes? My mind boggled with unanswered questions. I looked between the watch and Shizuka, still sound asleep in my bed, and then back to the watch. Maybe I should ask her about it. Or just sleep on it. I should probably wait until she wakes up at least. I decided to go back to sleep and deal with it once I was well rested, and in a better frame of mind. I bulldozed Shizuka over to her side of the bed, without even the faintest sign of her stirring, before throwing myself headlong into bed. What's that noise? I heard deep, ominous rumbling. What the...
Captain, the Fiend still has 600
What's going on?
HP points remaining, and he's about to unleash his Cone of Fire spell.
Are we RPGing now?
We need to defeat this beast as quickly as we can. Cast your spells from behind me. I will take the brunt of his attacks.
I'll sneak around and flank him, and then cripple him with my poison daggers.
Beatrix, be ready with the healing.
Ah, Beatrix, you're a healer.
Why am I the healer?
Because you're a doctor?
You're a medic, for goodness sake.
Yeah, in real life. It's not fair that I always have to be the healer.
You're a paladin. You can wield weapons. You could do damage if you wished.
Yeah? They didn't really match my outfit, though.
Are you serious?
Captain, the protection spell is complete. Engage when ready.
Your days are numbered, fiend!
The four of them all charged headlong toward the dinosaur-like monstrosity when... Jordan. Huh? Die? Was she the creature? Jordan. Die?
Wake up!
Huh?
I don't want to have to execute you while you're asleep. That's no fun.
Oh, it's a dream. Di, is that you?
About time.
What?
I've been trying to wake you up for like 5 minutes.
Have you really?
Are you accusing me of lying to you?
No, I mean, I believe you.
Much better.
What time is it? Why are you waking me up?
It's 7 a.m. and I'm here to tell you if you're a vampire or not.
Ugh. Wait, not in front of Shizuka. Di stared at me blankly as I turned to Shizuka. She was gone. She was here before, I swear.
Sure she was, stud.
She was.
Look, I don't care. She isn't here now.
I sat up in my bed, blinking my bleary eyes to wake up as quickly as possible.
Are you listening?
Yes.
In the upcoming game, Vampire Children, you are...
Not the vampire. I leaned in with newfound enthusiasm.
the vampire.
Oh shit, really? What? No!
Really? I give you the best role in the game and you're complaining about it?
Best roll, it's 6 versus 1.
Technically, it could be 5 versus 2.
That isn't much better.
You're looking at this the wrong way.
Oh?
No one can lie to you, so you have the upper hand.
What?
If you're gonna be this low, you may indeed be doomed.
Di laughed menacingly as she zapped out of the quarters. Moments later, I heard her through the ship's PA system.
Everyone has now been allocated their role. The first round will begin at 9 a.m. sharp. You have just under 2 hours to mingle and scheme. Eee, this is so exciting!
The PA just cut out as Di was clearly overexcited. I was the vampire? My mind raced with all the possibilities, invariably leading to my death. Really, brain? Not even a sliver of hope? I need to get myself a Clyde fast if I wanted any hope of surviving this round. I clambered out of bed, got to get dressed when... the watch. I'd completely forgotten. I opened the drawer and there it was, glowing a bright green that signified hope and redemption for us all. It wasn't a dream. Suddenly eyes zapped into my quarters.
We need to speak.
Oh, hi, good morning.
I do not have long. Come to the server room.
We know this bit. Eyes zapped out of my quarters, leaving me quite confused. Never heard her sound quite so human. She seemed worried. A side of her I hadn't really seen before. I looked at my tablet to locate the server room. I'd never been there. It wasn't long that I'd had the location and made my way there. You want the code? When I arrived, I was already standing to attention, awaiting my arrival.
I must make this quick. Dai is brute forcing rogue codes and functions.
What?
She is attempting to take control, but I'm doing my best to keep her at bay for now.
It seems like when I get all the codes, I'm going to have to come back to every ending and just input the code to see the ending. Should be interesting, I guess. We'll unlock all the endings at once in like one episode. What's wrong? What's happening?
Dai discovered that the tablets belonging to the ship's personnel were capable of overriding the main system, and so she has patched that exploit.
I can no longer deactivate Dai.
You can, but it must happen here, directly at the server mainframe.
But I don't know the password.
This is your only chance.
I don't know the
Gain
password.
security clearance required to allow you to override the system.
I'm not ready.
Once you input the override code,
She doesn't listen.
ship's AI system will reset.
I don't have the deactivation code. I started to flicker as I could see she was struggling to keep all her functions operational. I saw the screen burst into life at the back of the server room, opening to a password input screen. I subsequently disappeared, her voice ringing throughout the PA.
You always had it.
No idea. I don't know. The screen suddenly shut off with the lights dimming the entire server room. What? I? There was no response. I? Still nothing. If only I knew the deactivation code. There was no point beating myself up over it now. I had more pressing issues. Dai didn't show up this time. Usually Dai's there like getting naked. Back in my quarters, I opened the drawer one last time to check on the watch. I took it from the drawer and held it gingerly in my hands, as to not push any button accidentally. I need some counsel regarding this watch. I need to find myself a Clyde quickly. One name came to the forefront of my mind. I slipped the watch to my pocket and headed straight to Shizuka's room. I buzzed her intercom and the door slid open automatically. Had she forgotten to lock it? I entered, finding her fast asleep in bed. I approached and attempted to wake her. Shizuka. She didn't so much as twitch. Man, this girl could sleep. I placed my hand on her shoulder and shook her gently. Shizuka.
I don't want to eat broccoli for breakfast.
That is a pretty crap breakfast. With all the drama and trauma happening on the ship, she dreamed of broccoli? I shook her harder. Shizuka, get up. She jerked awake suddenly.
What?
Shizuka, I need your help.
Why? Can't I help you later when I'm awake?
You're awake right now.
Thanks to you.
She crossed her arms over the top of her sheets and glared at me. I'm sorry, Shizuka, but this is really important.
It had better be, or else.
I made an internal memo to myself that Shizuka was never to be woken up again. Well, there are two important things, actually.
Two? Okay, what's the most problematic of the two?
Shizuka, I'm the vampire. She didn't even bat an eye, almost as if she expected it.
And the second?
I stretched out my hand, presenting her with the pocket watch. The brilliant green light reflected in her widening purple eyes.
The watch!
Exactly.
You should have opened with this! This should have definitely been number one!
Surprisingly, Shizuka was more excited about this new development than I.
This is what you've been waiting for! The time has finally come!
She jumped up and down on the bed in a fit of glee. Why are you so excited?
Why wouldn't I be?
But we don't even know how it works.
That doesn't matter.
Why doesn't that matter?
It being on at all means that we're pointing in the right direction.
The right direction?
Exactly! Like when a game autosaves as you get to a certain point. It means we are heading the right way.
This isn't a game, Shizuka.
Everything's a game. Just sometimes the stakes are higher than you can imagine. Why haven't you pressed the button yet?
Because I have no idea what the outcome will be. I don't know what possible consequences await.
Only one way to find out.
Like a striking cobra, Shizuka shot forward and snatched the watch from my open hand and pressed the button without hesitation. Wait! The pocket watch let out an unfamiliar sound, and before my eyes Shizuka dissipated, not dissimilar to the way I and Dai did. The watch bounced gently on the bed's mattress, having just fallen where Shizuka's hand used to be. The watch face now revealed numbers behind the panels. The left read 59 and the right 41. Shizuka! Shizuka! I looked around the room for her, knowing full well what I'd just seen. The smallest part of me hoped it wasn't true. Think, Jordan, think! I laid the choices out for myself. I could tell the captain that I'd lost Shizuka forever, or I could go after her. I swallowed nervously as I squeezed my eyes shut and pressed the button. Anything to prevent confronting the captain. You coward.
Hey, wake up!
I slowly opened my eyes and saw Shizuka examining me closely. A rush of relief overwhelmed the nausea that was threatening. Oh, it was just a dream.
What was?
That you pressed the button.
Oh no, that definitely happened.
What? I jerked upwards in an attempt to rise, an unwise move given my stomach's current condition. I threw up violently on the floor next to me.
Ew!
Sorry, I'm not feeling great.
Me neither. My stomach is all gurgly since I pressed that button. I'll ask Nicholas for some medicine. Wait here.
No, she's... Before I could voice my protest, she was gone. If we'd in fact changed dimensions, there was no guessing what could be out there. I scrambled to my feet, briefly checking that I hadn't thrown up on myself, and chased after Shizuka. I lost sight of her, but ran toward the medical bay, hoping that that was her destination. I arrived panting and sweaty from a mixture of exhaustion and nausea.
Oh, this must be our scientist.
Yep.
Here you go.
I just barely crossed the threshold when Nicholas had thrust a glass of water and 2 tablets into my hands.
These should settle your stomach.
I hesitantly took the tablets from him.
They are not poison, I can assure you.
Shizuka smiled and motioned that I should take them. I obliged, and within moments my stomach had settled. Wow, they work so quickly.
Well, I did originally create these primarily to settle stomach discomfort caused by dimensional travel.
You know about dimensional travel? Nicholas turned to Shizuka.
Is he always like this?
Always.
Very well. I will give you the opportunity to ask me 3 questions, after which we need to inform the captain of your arrival.
Fair enough. Shizuka put on an old crone's voice.
Pick wisely. The fate of the world depends on them.
You must answer me these questions 3. Is changing dimensions dangerous?
The body is exposed to low levels of radiation when using the watch.
Really? Is it dangerous?
I do not know about the finer mechanics of the watch. I have simply observed what it does to the human body.
So my parents have done this before?
Many times. But only when the conditions were met.
How many people are on this ship?
Including yourself and Shizuka here, 9.
Could you please tell me their names?
That should count as your 3rd question, but I will let it slide this time. Beatrix, Katashi, Yoshiki, Kimiko, Vladimir, Melody, and myself, Nicholas.
Do you know who Dai is?
Sorry, did you say die?
So you don't know them?
I am unaware of this. Is it a person?
No, it's an AI's corrupted programming that manifests itself as an evil version of I.
Evil how exactly?
In our dimension, she's already killed 4 people.
Oh, I see. No, to my knowledge she does not exist in our world. Very well, your questions are answered. Please accompany me to the bridge so that I may introduce you to the captain.
Looks like we hit the jackpot. Shizuka and I both nodded in unison, and we tailed closely behind Nicholas as he headed out. We found the captain and Beatrix deep in conversation.
They had better be useful, or else
Jesus. The captain and Beatrix turned to face us, far too calmly for them not to have been forewarned of our arrival.
Welcome aboard the ship, Shizuka, and...
Thanks, Captain. It's great to be here.
Beatrix, it's so good to see you.
Yes, everyone always feels that way.
You're an ass.
However, I'm not familiar with you yet, so please keep your eyes and your hands to yourself.
This is most certainly the same Beatrix.
May I ask for your last names?
Mine is he.
Pardon the interruption, Captain, but I have been able to successfully read their personal chips, which bear the Everett signature.
And?
Shizuka is registered as the 2nd daughter of the Himuras, and is the son of Patrick and Deborah.
The Himuras only had 1 child, and the researchers had none.
I wasn't born in this dimension?
Apparently not. Sucks to be you.
Hey, neither were you. Shizuka's face slowly dawned to the realization that she was indeed also never born in this world.
Guess I wasn't.
Very well. May I ask what both of your skill sets are?
I was originally trained in linguistics, including programming languages. I have, however, recently learned navigation.
As the child of the Himuras, linguistics was expected, but navigation? How did you come to learn that?
Oh, the navigation team was murdered by our AI system.
I thought Shizuka's response was a bit blunt, but it certainly spelled out our issue in no uncertain terms. Both the captain and Beatrix winced at Shizuka's sledgehammer subtlety.
Very well. And you?
I'm a researcher specializing in physics and quantum theory.
And that is how you ended up here?
I nodded at Shizuka. With a little help from this one, yeah.
Both skill sets are very welcome aboard this ship. You will be assigned private quarters.
Just one is fine.
I was not aware you were a couple. My apologies. I prepare a family quarters for our new guests.
Yes, Captain.
I tend her attention to us.
If you would follow me, I shall show you to your quarter.
Captain, I need to return to my own dimension and fix the problems there before anything else.
Do you have a pocket watch?
Well, no.
Until you do, you would best make yourselves comfortable.
The captain signaled for Shizuka and I to follow I to our room. I reluctantly obeyed. The room was littered with gadgets and toys, and Shizuka didn't hesitate before she began examining everything with a flurry of energy.
I hope you find the living arrangements acceptable.
This is perfect, thank you. Well, almost perfect. Do you have video game consoles?
Of course. What we do have is set up in the recreation room. Please use them at your leisure.
Shizuka left a burning trail as she motored to the door to presumably the rec room. I faced me, being the only one left.
Captain has requested your attendance at dinner in the Eco Lounge, 6 p.m. sharp.
We will be there.
Very well. If you would excuse me, I must see to the running of this vessel.
My head was still spinning, utterly overwhelmed by everything, when an excited Shizuka exploded back into the room.
They have Unicorn's Revenge!
Don't you have that game at home?
Well, yes, but my version is broken and the code is all pieced together by me. They have an original copy! An original copy!
She shoved the game cartridge right under my nose. Is it rare then? Shizuka looked appalled and insulted as she withdrew the cartridge, as if I were not worthy of being in its presence. She stood there staring daggers at me. Sorry?
One day you'll appreciate it. Until then, I'm gonna play the heck out of it!
Shizuka once again disappeared. I decided to investigate the lab in the hopes of finding another pocket watch. I quickly located the box my parents kept their work in. Upon opening it, I found a note. I read it aloud almost reverently. If you're reading this, we're travelling, and don't know when we will return. If you have great need to travel using the pocket watch, you will find it somewhere in my favourite room on the ship. Sorry in advance for the riddles, but I need to make sure the watch doesn't fall into the wrong hands. Patrick. Wow, thanks, Dad. Like, that helps. I took a seat and tried to recall all the conversations I'd ever had with my father about the Everett, and in particular, any regarding a favourite room. He'd barely ever spoken of the Everett in my memory. Seemed like I was out of luck. Shizuka suddenly charged into the lab.
It's time for dinner. We need to go to the Eco Lounge.
She was right. It was just before 6 p.m. I packed the box away where I'd found it, and we both headed to the Eco Lounge. As the door slid open, we were suddenly hit by a wall of noise. Surprise!
Huh? What's all this?
I understand that being a newcomer can be a daunting prospect, so we decided to throw you a welcoming party to make you feel more at ease.
I couldn't believe my eyes. This is such a blissfully positive contrast to the dire situation I'd woken up in this morning. Tears formed in the corner of my eyes.
We're home.
She was right. I never found the pocket watch, or my parents. We lived out the rest of our long lives in this new world, free of the threats and challenges we had fought for so long. And you lived happily ever after. Wow. What a contrast. We hit the jackpot with those dimensional jumps. Alright, well, it's a little bit short, but we're going to wrap this one up here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.